Hello, it's Father Joshua here with a very special assembly for all of you at St Michael's and Whitefriars. Tuesday is a special feast day in the church's calendar. It's the feast of Candlemas. Candlemas on Tuesday marks 40 days since Jesus was born at Christmas. Can you believe it's been that long since Christmas already? The reason we celebrate this feast on Tuesday is because the Jewish law that Jesus and his family followed said that every firstborn child, every firstborn son, had to be presented to God at the temple in Jerusalem, and a sacrifice had to be offered to give thanks to God for the birth of the child. And so, just like every family in their culture would have done, Joseph and Mary took Jesus up to Jerusalem to present him to God, to give thanks and to offer the sacrifice. While they were there, they met an old man called Simeon. Simeon was a very faithful follower of God, and he'd been given a promise by God that he wouldn't die until he had seen God's Messiah come. So that day, when Mary and Joseph went into the temple, Simeon saw them and he knew the time had come. He rushed over to them, giving thanks to God. He took the baby in his arms and, lifting his eyes up to heaven, he praised God. And he said, "Lord, now you can let your servant go in peace, just as you have promised. My own eyes have seen the salvation which you have prepared in the sight of every people, a light to give light to the nations and to be the glory of your people Israel." So why do we call this feast Candlemas? Well, Simeon said that Jesus was a light to lighten the nations. And so over the years, the tradition has grown that at Candlemas, the church blesses all of the new candles it's going to use that year. Now, a long time ago, before we had electric lighting, churches and other places used candles just to see by. It was the only light they had at night. Now that we have electric lighting, we still use them because they remind us that Jesus is the light of the world, the light to lighten the nations. Here in church, there's always one light that never goes out. This lamp always burns beside the tabernacle. This is God's house, especially so because of this tabernacle. And this candle always burns to remind us that Jesus is the light of the world and he will never leave us. Let's go and have a look at some of the other things we use candles for. Let's take the flame from the tabernacle and have a look at what else we use candles for. One thing we use candles for in church is to mark out special places. So when we come to the altar to celebrate the Mass, we light the candles to show that this is where something important is going to take place. Another way that Christians use candles and light is for prayer. This is a stand where, in church, people come to light a candle to say a prayer. Now, because church is shut for public services at the moment, there aren't any here. But I'm going to light this candle to pray for all of you. Candles are very special helps for prayer because when the candle burns, the flame, the heat and the light consumes the candle. It's a little sacrifice. Something is consumed in our prayer. It's not like turning on a light switch and turning it off where nothing much happens. Here, we can see the candle is used up. The smoke, the heat and the light go up, a bit like our prayers go up to God. And as the candle is consumed, so too are all the worries that we pray for when we light it. Here you can see what the pricket stand, as we call it, would look like in normal times, ablaze with candles. And now this one burns for all of you. We have 2 shrines here in All Saints Church. These shrines are a little bit like mini altars, and they burn for Whitefriars and for St. Michael's. When we light the candles at these shrines, we pray for you at our 2 church schools, for yourselves, for your teachers and for your families. This is a very special candle. It's our Paschal candle, or our Easter candle. We get a new one each year, and you can see it's got the year on it. This candle is lit for the first time on Holy Saturday. After dark, as you can see photos here, we light a huge fire in the churchyard, and into that fire we place this candle until it lights. And then, as we celebrate the new life of Jesus, we take this candle into the dark church. Jesus said that he was the light of the world. And when we take this candle into the church, it symbolises Jesus returning to his people after he rose from the dead. You know, it's amazing how a single light can light up a dark room. Look at this photo, what a couple of candles can do to light up the church. So I've got a fun activity for you today. Now you might want to do this right now or later if you prefer, and you can do it in school or at home, wherever you are. What we're going to do is to try and make the room we're in, or another room if we can, as dark as possible. We can draw the curtains, we can put down blinds, we could even put a blanket over the door to stop the light getting in. And then what we're going to do is make one light. Now you might like to find a torch, perhaps on a phone or something like that. Or you might want to use the screen of a tablet. Or you can get a grown-up, and this is the best idea of all, get a grown-up to help you with lighting a candle. And then just see how much light it gives off into that dark room. If you're going to do it now, pause the video and come back afterwards. Or you might want to do it later, in which case, keep watching. Well, I hope that was an interesting activity, and it's a reminder of how powerful one light can be. You know, Jesus said in the Bible that he was the light of the world, but he also said that we are the lights of the world. We can light up the world with the way that we live and treat other people. Have a think and talk with the people you're with now, whether that's your class or with your family or whoever you're with. How can we light up the world for other people? Take some time to discuss this now. Okay, I hope you've had a good discussion. And remember, keep on being those lights. All right, before we say goodbye, we're going to sing our song. Now, as I've said, this assembly is going out to St Michael's and to Whitefriars. St Michael's, folks, you'll probably know this one by now. Whitefriars, this might be new to you, so why not play it a couple of times until you get it stuck in your head. It's really catchy, you're going to love it. I'm gonna make a difference, make a big fat fluffy difference, make a big fat fluffy difference in the world. I'm gonna use my talents, I'm gonna overcome every challenge, make a big fat fluffy difference in the world. God's given us lots and lots of things, so we can really shout and sing, and do our best to help somebody else. Jesus gave his all, and then he gave a call. Let's all make a difference in the world. I'm gonna make a difference, make a big fat fluffy difference, make a big fat fluffy difference in the world. I'm gonna use my talents, gonna overcome every challenge, make a big fat fluffy difference in the world. Some people are so funny, they make bucket loads of money, and all they do is spend it on themselves. Others are quite strange, they throw life down the drain, they don't try to make a difference in the world. I'm gonna make a difference, make a big fat fluffy difference, make a big fat fluffy difference in the world. I'm gonna use my talents, gonna overcome every challenge, make a big fat fluffy difference in the world. I'm gonna make a difference, make a big fat fluffy difference, make a big fat fluffy difference in the world. I'm gonna use my talents, I'm gonna overcome every challenge, and make a big fat fluffy difference in the world. I'm gonna use my talents, I'm gonna overcome every challenge, I make a big fat fluffy difference in the world. Alright, I'll be back with another assembly very soon. Bye for now.